So we've got a little helper today. You ready to help? Yep. So we have customers supplying aftermarket headlights and taillights. We'll see how these work out. We've had mixed reviews from different headlights. Some of them have been better than others. We're also going to do our brake kit and our red calipers. See how kind of grimy they look. Brakes are really going to freshen this up. Also, it has an intake that doesn't fit particularly well. It's rubbing the hood. So we have an air box we're going to put on there. It's going to look much better and perform better. So we got the intake tube off. We're gonna piece a complete box together and make sure all that is hooked up correctly. One thing we noticed right here, there is a bushing completely missing for the shock. It should have an upper bushing and a washer and a couple of nuts like this. It's completely missing, and this is a KW system, so we don't have any spare parts for that. So I don't know if we can just retrofit something for him in the meantime, because we don't want that shock bouncing around in there. So that, we brought it to his attention. It does also have a check engine light. We're going to check the code and let him know. So we've got the wheels off. Get a better look at the brakes right now. So again, it's got good quality suspension on it. These brakes are kind of old. It's got a no-name pad in there. Rotors are pretty worn, and a lot of it is he wants it to look nicer. Alright, so we got 2 on each rotor, right? We're going to be replacing these with a nice new stainless Allen, and then we'll put a little bit of anti-seize on them so it doesn't stick. These often give us a lot of headache getting out. Alright, it's heavy. Rock it back and forth. So what you're going to do is pull on this part and then wobble back and forth. Push on this part, pull on this. So you kind of do it like this. Go back and forth this way. We try and like back and forth, not like a steering wheel, like there. There you go. And then keep a hold of it because it's heavy. Make sure you got a good hold of it. Ready? It's heavy, don't drop it. Good job. So now what we're going to do is, you see the rust on here. I'm going to clean that off. So this is almost like a big debate about people not wanting to put these screws back in. I'll just give you my take on it. Look at that lug, that's all beat up. So imagine you don't put screws back in, and every time you change your wheel, your rotor comes forward a little bit, and then you put the wheel back on and it tightens back down, and then next time you change the wheel it comes forward, and then this rust kind of falls in between the rotor and the surface right here. And again, it might not take a lot, but if it gets stuck between here, then the rotor goes back on and it's not absolutely flush. It's going to cause some pulsating in your brakes, balancing issues. You're going to get that wobble. And again, some people might not notice it. I mean, if your car is pretty loose, noisy, you might not notice it, but keep in mind, if it's a nice car, it doesn't take much surface rust here to offset that rotor and give you some brake issues and obviously drivability. So now we've got a nice clean surface. Now, if you get your brakes done at LHT, we're going to replace these with stainless. Some people like to tell you you don't need them, and I like to tell people, well, Honda seems to think you do. If you get it done here, you're going to get nice new screws. I'm going to put a little bit of anti-seize on the thread, so if you do this brake job again in 10 years, you will thank us for it, because those bolts will come out and not be corroded in there. But like I mentioned, this rotor, once it's bolted on tight, it's not going to have any debris behind it or any rust causing it to have an uneven surface. That will stay put when you change your wheels. Make sense? Alright, so now we have our calipers away from our brackets. We're going to bolt the bracket on. This is the bracket. This is the caliper, right? You know this part, right? Yeah. So there is a right and a left. So best way to check, sometimes they'll say R and L on them. It's usually over here. If it doesn't, bleeder always goes to the top, so that caliper will go that way. Bleeder at the top. And there should be, see these two metal pieces, we need those. Don't take those little copper washers. They're the sealing washers for the brake line. Don't take those out yet. We do have a spare set that come in the brake lines. So yeah, there should be another one just like that. This is the brake hardware. This holds the pads and it's going to sit in here. I'll show you how these go in. They're a little bit tricky, especially after they're being powder coated. Hold on. They're going to go this way, but you got to be extra careful not to scratch the calipers. See, they're going to be pushing down into this slot right here. See, they're going to go like that. So there's two with a tab right here and two without a tab. So there's the other one with a tab. The one with the tab goes on the inside. You know what the reason of this is? I'll tell you.
Is it gonna click and miss something?
Well, kind of. As that pad wears down, you see how much this sticks over right here. When this little piece hits the rotor, it makes a high-pitched squealing sound. It reminds people that they need brake pads. So when you hear a car go down the road and it's squealing, that part is usually touching the rotor. So there's still a little bit of pad left. You can see on that angle there. You'll still have a little bit of brake pad left, but this is designed to squeak on your rotor and make a noise. You do not want to get any grease or dirt on here or the pads. Right now we're going to put the brake lines on there. Now Sebastian is opening the brake lines. So, alright, so nice thing to always check. Make sure they're all together. This little packet, this has the hardware in, it has the bolts and the new washers. Remember I told you it came with washers? These are the washers that comes with the rebuilt calipers. So two different sets. These are the back ones with the double right here. It's the back caliper, and these are the front. Left and right are the same. So grab one of these, open that packet. We want one bolt and two washers. When you take them out, make sure you don't lose any of the parts. Keep them over the carpet, okay? So careful with the razor. Bring us two washers, one bolt, and one line. I've shown this on many videos, but you can see how bad that is. So we're going to show you the old-fashioned way. We're going to pump it out. So we put our little bleeding tool right here. Now as we pump it out, you're going to see the dirt contaminate, and it's going to come through the hose. So we've got air in the system right now. You see the bubbles coming out, and then there is the dark, yucky stuff that we're pushing through. You see that? Still got air in there, but you see the dirt coming out. See that? Alright, brakes are done and bled. Look how much prettier they look. Looks so good. So you got a brake in the brakes. There is a brake-in procedure. Every brake pad company is going to give you a different procedure, so I'm not going to tell you how to do it. Go by the brake company that are supplying you the parts. But you see we've got the Goodrich lines, the brand new calipers with all hardware, pads, rotors. I mean, it's beautiful. Alright, so we put a complete airbox together with the hose and everything, so that's back in. And then we had a new bushing here. This is obviously one of the urethanes and a washer, and we found one of those nuts. It's like a single nut. It's supposed to be a double nut, like on the other side. See that? Well, we're lucky that we found that one. We don't have spare parts for KW stuff, but we obviously, not knowing what parts he really needs, we can't let it go down the road falling apart like that. I mean, it's dangerous. Probably sounds terrible too, but now that is looking a whole lot better. We're going to work on the lights. So front lights we've already taken out. Bumper was pretty easy to take off. It's only held on with 3 zip ties, so that made our life easier taking off, but that means we have to put a little bit more work in putting it back together. So that's just how it goes. It's not like it's a new old light right here. As you see, it's kind of flaking. Looks like somebody's clear coated it to make it look nice and new, and then the clear coat fades and flakes. It looks worse. There's the aftermarket light. So I'm not going to say anything bad about these, but we've had bad experience with them. But I can also say we've had a few aftermarket lights that we've had good experience, so I don't want to speak too soon. But like everything we do, we just do our best. Try and make it fit the best. Fix whatever wiring we need to do. This was glued in. You can see some silicone around here. And again, we just do our best. Make it as nice as we can. Always trying to make the customer happy. If you have a happy customer, it comes back and sends more customers. It's pretty basic, but very important. All right, so these are AP2 style taillights, and then I don't know the brand. I'm going to show you them here in a minute, but this is the same brand as we used the last time. They actually worked out very good and actually a nice quality. One thing we found on the last ones, we had to repin the wire for the signal. LEDs only work one way around. They're polarized, proprietary, what's the word I'm thinking of? I'm trying to talk on the fly here. That's why I sometimes jibber jabber. I don't have a script. They have to have the right polarity. That's the word I'm looking for, which means the red has to go to positive, black has to go to negative. I think they're wired incorrectly in here, and as we can't change the pins in here, what I did the last time is change the car side, because the car side, if you go back to stock, doesn't care. An incandescent bulb can go either way, but let's take the old one out and we'll show you what this one looks like. We'll do a side by side, but these I do like. All right, so you ready? You want to do this part? Let me show you what you got to do first. We have to take this. This is already loose. There's no clips in here. Was there any clips in there?
I don't know.
Okay, looks like he's already tried to be in here. So there should be a clip around here somewhere. We're gonna pull this fabric back on both sides, and then these are bolted in. I'm gonna let you do this, all right? So you got, I think it's just 4 holding it on. See right here, you got one here, one here, one here, and there's one hidden under there. This one, the wiring harness, you already taken them out? That wiring harness is actually snapped on that thread. So you're gonna pull this wired harness off, just rock it back and forth, careful, there you go. That comes off, you see that? And then the other bolt is right there. So, all right, 2 hands, wrong way, this way, counterclockwise. Change the ratchet, you see the little tab in there? There you go, you know what I'm doing. 2 hands, 1 hand the ratchet, 1 on the extension, keep control of it. Yep.
Not loose.
That's all right, it's only a little bolt. So once you break it loose, you should be able to spin it by hand. All right, be very careful not to drop the nut. Don't spin it like that. There you go, keep fingers on it all the time. If you drop that nut, it disappears. It'll cause a rattle in the car, and it'll also cause us to have to find a bolt or a nut that we might not have. You're right-handed, right? Mm-hmm. So hold this way. Hold on to this with your right hand. This is your strong hand. This left hand is going to guide this. So you're going to hold this and guide it on. Keep everything together, and then break it loose. Right, keep this hand on here to guide it. There you go. Keep control of it. And then grip this with your fingers so that when you back up, it ratchets. Hold on to the ratchet. Hold on to it. Hold on tight. See? Right? So if you grip that, okay, once you get it loose, take the ratchet off the extension. Press that button on the end. Okay, put the ratchet down. So what you're basically going to do is, this is your left hand. While this is on the thread, you're going to turn this with your right hand, and this finger and thumb is guiding that nut, so when it comes loose, it's not going to fall off. You're holding it in the socket. See what I mean? Mm-hmm. If not, if that falls off, falls in the car, we might not find it. So as soon as it breaks loose, finger and thumb, there you go. Hold that all the way off, and then it'll stay in the socket. Right? Mm-hmm. All right, your turn. There you go. Can you feel the nut on the end? Mm-hmm. So when you feel it come loose, hold onto the nut with your finger and thumb. Just let it slip through your fingers, but just keep a hold on it. And then keep it in the socket when you take it off. And then put it in the magnetic tray. So now we push it from the other side carefully, and it should just come out nice and careful. Make sure you don't hit the paint on the way out. Nice and easy. All right, I'm gonna grab both sides. Carefully move it away. All right, there we go. There is your left tail light. So there it is. It's a big difference. I really like the AP2 tail lights. Plus being LED, they catch your attention. Much brighter and crisper. Really takes the car to a newer look, in my opinion. Again, some people like the old tail lights. That's the beauty about opinions. Everybody has one. So this gasket, we're going to make sure that this gasket stays in. If you got the light,
Yep.
be very careful not to drop it. You're going to hold this, make sure the wires are free, and we're gonna push this into the hole, make sure this gasket is lined up. So look how much better it looks. It's definitely a newer look compared to this one over here. I mean, this was cool in 2000, but I think it dates the car a little bit. So I like it. So Sebastian is working on the other side, and then we'll change that one too and check the wiring. So we're gonna go through each wire. These are designed to plug in where the bulbs used to, so you take the bulbs out and their plug plugs in, then you confirm they work, and then that whole thing kind of goes back together and twists back in and seals that hole, kind of like this. You push the wire in there, but we'll leave it open just for now. So, you know what, I'm gonna get you to go through the lights. So if you would turn the lights on first, on that stalk right there, you're gonna turn that one click right there. So we have light here, we have light here. Now I need you to step on the brakes, press that pedal all the way down and hold it. We're gonna confirm that the brake light works. Not getting anything here. Just press on and off a couple of times. Yep, not getting anything, so that might be the wrong way around too. Alright, so left is this knob down, right is this knob up. Right now it's in the middle. So go down, and you should see it flash. You're flashing up there. We don't have anything here. That should be the yellow one. Alright, do the right signal. Right signal isn't flashing either. You see the side marker there. So that is this one. We should be able to just unplug this and turn it around. That should go back in there. Alright, press the brakes. Yep, that works. On and off the brakes. Okay, so that's an easy fix. That is a 50-50 shot of getting this right, so obviously that's why I'm not a gambler. Flip that around. If you can see that, flip it around 180 degrees, push it back in. Alright, brake light again, tap it. Yep, that fixes it. So we're going to check the reverse light, then we're going to change the polarity on the signal. So we're going to put it into reverse. Now I've been kind of teaching you how to drive a manual for a while, right? Remember how it is? Push it down on an S2000, push the knob down first, then all the way over, and then back. There you go, all the way over now. Yeah, we've got a reverse light on this side. No reverse light here. Same thing. Should be an easy plug. See, this one you can change the way around. So I'm going to turn that, plug it back in. Now we have reverse light. So there you go. So those plugs, obviously you can change the polarity, just flipping them around. See this right here? I'm in the light, but this you can flip around. This one you can't. The reason you can't flip it around is this here. You see me? This is gonna make a terrible video. Someone's gonna complain I can't see it. This is one wire, this is another wire. We can't change those in there. They're sealed in here. This doesn't come apart. But we can change this end. So what we're gonna do is take this plug out here. You're gonna push this tab in here, push that tab all the way down and angle it backwards. That comes out. We're not gonna mess with this. We're gonna change the wiring on this. We're gonna change these pins around. So what we're gonna do is pull those pins out. There is a little tab back here. You're gonna push that tab in. I'm going to flip these wires around, this too. I'm going to flip them the opposite way around. Like this, you're going to swap them around. That one in there, same direction. And that one back in there. Push that down, then back into our holder, there it is. And now you've reversed the polarity. We good now? There we go, we are working. So that's all we've done is get the two wires, reverse the polarity. Do the other side now. All right, one more click. So you saw the lights come on. All right, let's do the left and then the right. All right, there's the left. There we go, look at that. So hopefully that helps you. I did a video before where we showed that. I don't want somebody to buy these lights and then completely hate them, because they're actually better quality than I first give them credit for. I want to show you the manufacturer here in a minute, just so if you're looking to buy these. And again, put all the wiring back in there, and this will fit back in and twist just like the factory ones do. So this is the box from the tail lights. It doesn't tell you a whole lot. I wish it had, you know, a little bit more information. If it's kind of like a generic, you know, import box, but if this helps you anything, you might be able to type that in on eBay. This is the part number, LED black. So we got the new headlights in. Driver side works. Passenger side has a bad HID. We did fix some wiring. There was some wiring. This was like a crimped piece, and then there was this right here, just like some bare wire.
Yeah, there's about 2 inches of just bare wire on the inside.
Well, once that was repaired, it looks like the main bulb is out. The HID is working, it's sending power, but the bulb itself is out, so it's gonna need a bulb. But saying that, the headlights do look better. These are, you know, the little aftermarket looking for me. I don't really like too much of the crazy look. I like OEM, but I mean, they do look nice on the car. Freshened it up a lot. Now the wheels on, see how much better that brake looks. Definitely tidies the car up. So I think it's going to be a big improvement. I think it's going to be excited with this. It looks nice. There's the back one, if I can get out the shadow. And then of course these taillights. I definitely like these taillights a lot. And again, best I could do was show you the part number. I gotta say, if I find some clips, it never had any clips for here, but it just, you know, it doesn't want to stay. They kind of just clip into this rubber and they don't want to stay. See if I can find some clips for him that will work. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Check out the LHT store, lhtperformance.com. Some of the things we showed in the video, they are for sale in the store. Check them out. And thanks to Sebastian, my son, for coming in. He had a blast. He really enjoys this. I wish I could have spent more time over the summer with him in the shop, but being busy, we can only spend so much time kind of, you know, learning and showing him the ropes. So hopefully you got some tips out of it too. See you on the next video. Don't forget, hit the subscribe, hit the like, support the channel, and we'll see you on the next video.